See who I got here? You see who that is? That's a little buddy that's been out here snacking on our beans, on our green beans. You think you're gonna come in my garden, eat my beans, and lay out here on the leaves and their foliage and make love all day and ruin my beans? I don't think so.
Hey guys, so subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell and give us a thumbs up.
I'm gonna tell you a thing or two about pest control. Now this is natural pest control, and when I say natural, I mean as natural as you can get. Now pest control for me starts in real early part of the year when I see these little old white millers, we call them, moths, what you may know them as, flying around the garden. And they just go from plant to plant laying their little eggs. And when I see that happening, I see the first one, I do what I call shotgunning them. I'll get me a good handful of loose dirt and I'll catch them sitting still. Even if I have to sacrifice a plant, a start out of a plant, I'll do it. Get me a big handful of dirt and I'll run up on them, shotgun them, knock them down and run and stomp them. I killed a bunch of them that way, and I can really tell a difference since I started doing that without spraying anything. Well, on the beans, I'll show you here. Now my beans, they started getting a little damage on them. You can see these leaves when they first started coming out of the ground. And I started combing, looking for, oh, look at there. These son of a guns, I reckon that's them south of the border bean beetles right there, out here having a party on my beans. So I just knock them off, take me a rock. You might want to cover your eyes if you got a weak stomach. I just pound them right into the dirt just like that. And there, my beans are, whoop, we got another one here. Hiding on the backside, see it there? And this is the best little pest control that you can do, in my opinion. Because if you get started early when them things are when they're first starting, you can see right where they're at. I mean, you walk out in your garden and you can pinpoint what is eating on your beans or whatever it is if you just take the time to stop and look. See right here? Look at there. People will see the damage. They'll see the damage on their plants, but they don't take the time to scratch around these leaves and look and find out who's doing it. They just go look for something to spray on it. I'm not saying everybody's that way. I'm saying some people do that way. But as soon as I see damage on my beans or whatever it is, I start combing them for the pest that's causing the damage. And I mean, I've not sprayed these beans one time, and there is very little damage. And you see, I just killed them bean beetles. Very little damage to my beans, and I've not had to spray them one time yet. Now, if you got little helpers like this, they are real good because they're down close to the ground, and they can help you take care of business on these pests. Catch it, Char, hurry. There you go. They'll poop on you a little bit, but it won't hurt you. That's their last act. Now we're just gonna take us a little rock. We're gonna pulverize them, compost them. Let the beans eat them for a little while, won't we, girl? Mm-hmm. All right. Here's another one right here. Spotted him right there eating on our beans.
You get him, Pops.
I got him, girl. Compost. The beans gets to snack on him for a while, don't they? Mm-hmm. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Now, when your beans get up to where they're pretty tall, you can get down like this and you can look up under there Very little handwork, and you're able to see them bugs really good. And this gives you a good chance to prey while you're down here too. And another reason I don't just step on these with my foot is if you got soft dirt in the garden, just stepping on them bugs will just mash them down and they'll crawl right back up. So I make sure I pulverize them, compost them good. Get the full effect out of them. But when you're down like this, you can really see them where they live. You get down on their level. That's where them little helpers is handy, because they're already halfway there. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See what a good view you get down here? See that? Oh, look at there. Look here who we found. See him there? You get down on their level, and once it's not visible the other way, standing up looking through or having to bend over and brush, it's so much easier to get down here on their level. You can take care of them that way. And you can see them real good when you're down here with them. That's what I like about when the beans get taller, is you can really see, and sometimes they'll jump off. You have to watch. When they feel you rustling around, they'll jump off and try to hide from you. You got to keep a sharp eye out. But I'm gonna see just how diligent I can be this year and see what kind of an effect that this has on our pest control, because in years past I've done this some, but I've never been really stayed on top of it. And I'd like to know just how good of a job could be done with pest control. I mean, it takes a little bit of time, but you know, it's, if you couldn't get any spray, this would be a lifesaver if you're gonna have anything to eat. So it'd be good skill to know. A lot of times you don't even have to touch the beans. Got two right here, look at there. You don't even have to touch the beans most of the time to be able to see after they get up big like this. I've not found any eggs yet on these beans. I've not found any eggs. So that tells me that just these breeding bugs is all I found, but no eggs. Now, it only took me a little over 20 minutes to do over 200 row feet of beans looking through them, and I'm pretty confident that they ain't hardly any, if any, bugs left in my beans right now, because I got up under there and I could see really good, and I'm pretty sure I got every one of them. So you can make a big dent in pest control if you'll take the time to get out here and walk around and hunt and figure out what is doing the damage to your stuff. If you'll just take the time. Now, like up here, let's see. You see these leaves? You can see there's something here starting to eat on them. We just gotta comb around and find the son of a gun. He's probably hiding down in there. They're hard to see. They're real hard to see. You have to just take your time or you'll overlook them. I mean, they are not. Okay, I found him. See if you can see what's eating on our plant here. You see it? See there? Right there. That's what's doing it. So we're gonna reach in here just like that. Get him just like that. See there? Say hey. He's gonna say hello and he's gonna say goodbye all at the same time. So that's what we do right there for our pest management. We'll just compost him. It's a cycle here. Make compost out of him. Some of these now you can see where they're damaged, but I've already got them. I come out here and I've done got them. I didn't get every one of them. Here's one that I've not checked out, but it does have some damage. Let's see if we can find out who is eating on this. And they're really hard to see. I mean, they'll be right in front of your face. Ooh, we got two culprits on this one. Look here. One right there. And one back here. Look at that. They get right on that vein and you can't even hardly see them. So I'm gonna get this little one first, and you can see where that little moth has made his little nest there and where these things are coming from. So there's one. Lay him right over here. I can deal with him, and then I'll get this other one off back here. Look at there. It looks like he did poop a little bit and done something on the leaf there. So that's what I do, and then I just find me a rock or something and just compost them. But anyway, you can do a lot of pest control fast if you'll just stop and take a minute to look and investigate. And whatever's doing it, you got to catch them early. Like I said, I started killing them little white moths when they first come out here and started laying eggs. I started killing the things before I ever had a plant in the garden. And I was diligent. I mean, whatever I was doing, I'd stop and go kill one if I possibly could. A lot of them got away, but I did get a lot of them. And I can tell a huge difference here. They're not eating our stuff up. And just like these beans I told you, as soon as I seen the first little bit of something eating on them, that's when I started. And it really knocks these pests back. And if you can make it through their first wave, most of the time you've got a good handle on them then. And you have to spray a whole lot less, and you have to do a whole lot less as far as pest control goes. So that's just the way I do it. Wanted to share it with you. Didn't know if you did or not. Everybody wants to stay away from chemicals, and there's a lot of things that's not chemicals, but a lot of things that are. I hope this helps you. There's some things that you can't deal with this way, but there's a lot of things that you can. So when it comes to pest control, it's about twice a day that I come out here after it dries off in the morning and in the evening usually, and get every bug that I can find. It just takes a few minutes. You can go through there like a guinea and pick out the ones you see and the ones you can find, and it does a whole lot for pest control. Like I said, you got to start early. If they get a foothold, I don't think you could do this, but if you start early when they do, you can get a good handle on them. You got to hit them hard. You got to knock them into next week and then whoop them for leaving. That's what we do around here for our natural pest control. And I may come back on the beans if they start getting bothered, especially when they get bigger. You can't, if the bugs get a foothold at all, you're gonna have to do something else. But this is a great help for a home garden and getting control of the bugs early. And like some of our greens, our cabbage and broccoli and our collards, we can handle that pretty good and keep them leaves all natural, and you feel good when you're eating them. I don't think I'm a bit better than anybody else. I mean, I spray every year. I have to spray some, and I'm trying to get less and less. Like say I got 15 or 20 bugs off them beans this morning. I could have come to the house and mixed up some spray and sprayed all over 200 row feet of beans, and there wouldn't have been any need because they wouldn't but about 20 bugs. So I'm just saying, this is a good way to think about it a different way. and use your all natural pest control right here and right here, and hit them where they live. We're gonna see how it does. I'll sure share with you, and I'll let you know if and when I have to spray and how I think it got out of hand or whatever. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about this idea. You may have seen it somewhere else. I don't know. I don't claim to be the inventor. I'm just using what I've got here and trying to make the best of it. So appreciate y'all. Look forward to seeing you real soon. And I wanted to say too, the other day I made the comment, you can't burn holes in your plastic with your plants under there, you'll burn them up. I was just kidding. The reason I done it that way is because I didn't have this plastic when I set my plants out, and I wanted to prep my holes, so I dug up here where I didn't plow on this bank, I dug a big hole, put my compost in, or my manure in there and all that, and mixed it up, and my lime, and then I set my plants. So then I come back and roll this plastic out over top of the plants, and that's why I cut the holes in. But when I said that I wasn't gonna burn holes in there because it'd burn your plants up if you do it that way, I was just joking. I try to be serious, but sometimes I just want to make jokes.